that you're not listening to me when I talk. And you know everything better than I ever could. But I'm here now with my suitcase and very little patience for blame. And when I leave one of these days, neither of us should still be the same. I take everything with a side of you and all the side effects of staying too. I spend these days as the reigning queen of all the ladies in your magazines. You wanna cover them up, you say, and you laugh. I want to cover your thoughts with things I'm thinking of, dear. Will be girls, you say. Oh, that's just a lazy excuse not to talk about this world. And boys will be boys, you say. And that's just a lazy excuse to raise idiots. And I'm not just making a fuss, it's always about us. And I'm not just making a fuss, it's always about us. We can make all the mistakes we want, but don't show me your palms and say you got no bad intentions. Just because we both were raised thinking we must not fail, and there's only one right answer. There's no injury that heals as slow as those little holes that words drill into our souls. So pack your bags, dear. You need to get out of here and pack your bags, dear. I need to get you out of here, 'cause girls will be girls, you say, but it's just a lazy excuse not to talk about this world. And boys will be boys, you say, and it's just a lazy excuse to raise idiots. And girls will be girls, you say. It's just a lazy excuse not to talk about this world. And boys will be boys, you say. It's just a lazy excuse to raise idiots. And I'm not just making a fuss, it's always about us. And I'm not just making a fuss, it's always about us. Of the clock was tap, tap, tapping against the insides of my skull, while I heard the neighbors moaning on the other side of the wall. And I rocked back and forth on the edge of the bed, trying to keep my insides in. And for a second I thought I felt the imprint of your fingers, like tiny burn marks, like tiny burn marks, like tiny burn marks, like tiny burn marks on my skin. Tiny burn marks, like tiny burn marks, like tiny burn marks on my skin. Remember the feverish night when I dreamt of the machine that makes planets for other galaxies out of plasticine. And I forgot about the worries that keep me busy on weekends. And I got the fortune cookie that says I'll always be a true friend. But oh, how I want you to undress for me. And oh, how bored I'd be if you did. And I can't risk this, I just stare and shrug and say I'm sorry, I can't think of anything better to do for the both of us. Pose for me, she said. Come on closer to me, she said. Come on, pose for me, she said. This is all that I can get, and this is all I really want. want. I want your heartbeat like a drum. I want your heartbeat like a drum for a short and sweet song. Pose for me, she said. Come on closer to me, she said. Come on, pose for me, she said. This is all that I can get, and this is all I really want. I want your heartbeat like a drum. I want your heartbeat. I drank the whole glass of milk because I knew it would make me sick. I ate the pigeon and the rabbit, afraid of your magic tricks. And I blew out all the candles, I poured the wine into the ground. When you talk, I just smile and turn up the music real loud. But oh, how I want you to undress for me. And oh, how bored I'd be if you did. And I can't risk this, I just stare and shrug and say I'm sorry, I can't think of anything better to do for the both of us. Pose for me, she said. Oh, come on closer to me, she said. Oh, come on, pose for me, she said. This is all that I can get, and this is all I really want. I want your heartbeat like a drum. I want your heartbeat like a drum for a short and sweet song. Pose for me, she said. Come on closer to me, she said. Come on, pose for me, she said. This is all that I can get, and this is all I really want. I want your heartbeat like a drum. I want your heartbeat like a drum. Cycling backwards in figure eights, around the trees with their magnetic leaves that unwither and grow back into their branches. I hold my knee before I crash, all my scabs are reattached and my skin shoots pebbles in time lapse onto the lawn where we bury our dead beaten horses. Sitting barefoot on the curbside, oh, how we imagined what it would be like once we've grown into all known directions and drinks stiff and strong and buddies that belong to the top 10 we would write songs about. But look where we are now. You still know where I'm hiding. You come with food and good tidings, and high tide brings me back to you. And this is like riding a bike. Just oil the gears and it's fine. I know the buttons to press. I know where to find them. And we choose to be blind to the times that ain't kind to me and you. Collecting stories like trophies, handling words like pornography. We roll them off the tips of our tongues, and like ships they come into the ports of our common biography. And we've been to places, and I shared that in my head I'm still there. And every spark in a face that just got off a plane brings new vocabulary that torches these veins. And I got a thing for possibilities and mouths that know how to promise me that there's more than the circles and cycles we cycle. There are straight one-way roads and bridges and highways. And there's more than the circles and cycles we cycle. There are straight one-way roads and bridges and highways, and there's more than the circles and cycles we cycle. There are straight one-way roads and bridges and highways. Sometimes when you talk, every syllable's like a flock of birds taking off into watercolored clouds. And every single word takes us places and places and places we've never heard of. So come on, and there's nothing. Be my everything, be that something in every song we sing. So come on, and there's nothing. Be my everything. for the fierce and the fearless.
How close is out to you in tiny doses.
How nearest for the fierce and the fearless.
How close is out to you in tiny doses.
How nearest for the fierce and the fearless.
How close is out to you in tiny doses.
How nearest for the fierce and the fearless. All these concrete boxes, one on top of the other, and all of them lanterns at night. I get so distracted by the emptiness of rooms that came unexpected. Saw them fade into the sky. And what should we do with this missing? Except let it dig its nails deeper into the present. And what should we do with this fever, this fever, this fever? Except let it come nearer. And what should we do with this missing? Let it dig its nails deeper into the present and deeper. And what should we do with this fever, this fever, this fever, this fever? Except let it come nearer, let it come nearer, let it come nearer, let it come nearer, let it come nearer and nearer and nearer, and let it come, 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 and let it come nearer, and let it come nearer, and let it come nearer, and let it come nearer.